Assalamu alaikum. Today, I would like to discuss about news writing for the websites on behalf of Department of Media. First, I would like to explain what is news. Information about current events printed on newspapers are broadcast by media. Media means TV or in websites. Actually, a news gives the reader information that will have an impact on them in some way and usually flows from most important news to the least important information. And also a news should be a recent information and it should be about the current events or it can be about somebody or something interesting. And also the another important point is you can write news about something previously unknown. Essential qualities of news. There are 5 important points. The first one is accuracy. Accuracy means your news must give the accurate information to the audience, to the readers. And the second one is brevity. Brevity means you have to use concise and as well as the apt word, exact word for writing a news. And the third point is clarity. Your words must be very clear. It must give direct information to the audience. Objectivity. Objectivity means you have to write news without any bias. And factual, you have to write factual news. Next point is structure of news writing. The first point is headlines. There are different types of headlines. First one is hammer headlines or hanging headlines and main headline. So we can use these 3 types of headlines for a news writing. Second one is byline. Byline means the name of the reporter and also the date, location, everything. Lead paragraph. Lead paragraph means the very first paragraph of the news article. It gives you the gist about the news story and it leads the readers or audience to go in detail for the remaining content. And the body copy means which has the whole information, the detailed information about the news. Our next slide is about headline writing skills. Headline should give the essence of the story. So you have to choose appropriate and exact word for describing the story. It should fit within the limited space. So you cannot use more 15 words or 20 words like that. Usually the editors use 7 to 8 words or 10 words for writing a headline. And you should use strong action verbs and your headline must be in a present tense. And you have to avoid is, are, to be, like that. And you have to avoid articles like a and everything. And focus on active voice. As discussed earlier, you have to use present tense as well as active voice. Our next slide is about tips for good headline writing. Your headline must tell the story as well as it must sell the story. That means it must drag the attention of the readers. And your headline must match the tone of the story. Here the tone means it can be a happy incident or it can be a sorrowful incident or it can be like a sports winning situation. So you have to use appropriate words which have to match with the tone of the story. And be original. Be original in the sense you have to use your own words to write this headline. Please don't depend on others' content. Be accurate. Your headline must not mislead the reader. And the next slide is about writing for the web. Now only I am getting into the real essence of the presentation. Writing for the web is really a big challenge. So what are the challenges for news writing for the websites? The first point is harder or slower to read on screen. Usually we find more comfortable while reading with the newspaper or in the books. But reading in a computer or in a mobile screen is a bit difficult. Some of us may feel irritation in our side. So it is harder or slower to read on screen. And stiff competition in the sense sometimes user can always go somewhere else. Somewhere else means the flow of paragraph can mislead the reader's view or sometimes they may lose the interest. So this is a very stiff competition area. And text is often afterthought in site design and architecture. Mostly for the websites, we give more preference to the images, illustrations or any charts, graph like that. So text is often afterthought in site designs and architecture. And the next slide is about fundamental question. how do people read on the web? Usually, as per Jacob Nielsen, 79% of people, they don't read the web. People scan the web in the sense they just skim for the important keywords or interesting words, which gives some kind of gratification to them. So they do the skimming, usually skimming the text for keywords. It is very obvious that we have to use keywords, important keywords, to convey our story. Next point is what works best on the web. Promotional writing, concise text, scannable layout, objective layout, or combined approach. You can use all this. Promotional writing in the sense you have to promote your story or about your organization or about your own self, right? And concise text, you have to be very short and sweet. And scannable layout means your layout must be easy for the readers. It should not mislead the audience views. And objective layout, you have to give a lot of breathing space in your layout. Next important slide is recommendations. What kind of techniques we can follow to write good news for the websites? One idea per paragraph. That means please avoid including more points in one particular paragraph and limit your words count to half of printed text. That means compared to newspaper or books, magazines, please reduce the content while writing for the websites. Stick to the facts and eliminate marketees. Marketees in the sense eliminate unnecessary words or any jargons like that. Next point is what's it all mean? That means web text is different than print. As I said earlier, you have to be very conscious while writing for the newspaper because the style is different, but you have to be very conscious for websites. Here you have to reduce the text part. Good writing still counts. That means you have to use accurate words, simple words, concise words, like that. Every word counts, and use subheads and lists. Subheads will help you to attract the reader's attention. Edit for brevity and action. As I said earlier, brevity means you have to use concise and apt word. Your words must not lead to ambiguity, so use appropriate words. Use active voice, not passive voice. Your text must be, or your sentence framing must be simple, declarative, and imperative sentence structures. Use second person where possible, because while writing an article, a reporter must not write on his own point of view, so you have to use some second person. And be precise and avoid ambiguity. Here, ambiguity in the sense avoid confusion and kill all useless words without mercy. Next important slide is other guidelines which we can use for writing news for the websites. Avoid self-promotion and jargon. Short and direct is equal to good content. And choppy is equal to bad. Choppy means when you use more words or more colors or more technical words, surely it may lead to ambiguity. So focus on content, not interface. Easy ways to accomplish this. Use bullet points. Use paragraph breaks. Graphs and charts, hyperlinks, PDFs wherever it is necessary. Then cutting out needless words. Thanks for watching. Thank you all once again.